Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Cowboy Survival. I've seen a lot of videos on the YouTube about building these Swedish torches. I've heard them called Canadian candles. I've heard, where you take a log, you quarter it, you hollow out part of it, you put it back together, and then what you do is you build a fire inside the center, and then the log then burns from the inside out and provides a sustained heat source that you can cook on and whatever. Well, excuse me, we're going to try that today with a piece of Christmas tree trunk that I cut off my Christmas tree. And we're going to see if that works and see how easy or not it might be to do. It looks easy. Looks great when it works. So we'll see what happens. Let's get into it. So the first thing I need to do is I need to quarter this. I need to split this thing in two. It's kind of small, so I'm going to actually baton it, I think. This is my old Boy Scout hatchet. By the way, I'm wearing gloves, not because I care about my hands, but this is a piece of my old Christmas tree, off the Christmas tree trunk, and I'm going to try to make a really small Swedish torch or Tennessee wood stove, whatever you want to call it. But it's really sappy and really sticky, and so I thought I'd do that. I just don't want to get the stuff all over my hands today. So we'll first just sort of get this hatchet in there. Well, let's see if I can get it in the center. There we go. And I'm going to take this piece of wood here, and I'm just going to try to see if I can't. So if we can get this thing in the center. And then what I'm going to do is see if I can't baton this thing down, maybe split this piece of wood really nice. Oh, it's not helping. It's not splitting much, is it? Don't want to split, that's for sure. Well. I've almost got this thing split. Okay, so I got it split once. Let's see if I can split it again. Get it split right down the center. I think it's going to split nicely. There we go. Split the other one. Let's go over and do it this way. Okay, so I've got my 4 pieces, and what I want to do, of course, is put these back together once I carve out. So I'm going to carve out some of this and figure out how this goes back together. I guess it goes this way. And so what we'll do is we'll carve out this and we'll put it back together. So let's see how we're going to do this. I'm going to actually use the hatchet for that. I think it'll work well. So I can tell I've got my dark end here. That's going to be my base. And we'll just try to carve some of this out here. I'm actually going to save these wood chips. They'll be good to stuff down in this hole once we get this thing done. Not much, but it'll be enough. Some of the wood chips, I'll just push those off to the side. We'll use those left side. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to cut a little bit of that edge away there because I'm going to create, I'm going to take this glove off. It's going to actually create for me a nice little hole that I can put down in there, put stuff down in there, fire starter, whatever. So when I put this piece back together, we're starting to see it's got a little bit of a hole, though it's not as much as I'd like. Actually, it goes this way. I'm getting there. We're going to do this one some. The other one. All this stuff will make great stuff. Well, my hands are already getting sticky because I took that glove off. So when we put this thing back together, sort of see what it looks like once we start to get it put back together. I'll go here, and that'll sort of stand like that. And then you take some more off of that, we'll see. Actually, yeah, goes like that. And then this piece will go in here, I think. Maybe just go there. I figured out how to put this back together. So that piece goes there. And this piece goes, I think, here. Now it's going to go like that. This piece is going to go right in there. That's not much of a hole, so I'm going to continue to work on that because I don't like that hole. It's not much of a hole yet. Let's keep working on it. There's that. And then again, this piece is going to go here. This piece is going to go in the middle. What you see is I've got a nice little hole in there. I'm going to try to make it just a little bigger, but you see I've got a nice little hole, and that's where my fire will be. So let's get this wire around there. That's halfway ought to be enough. I'm going to actually put 2 wires on this. A lot of people only put 1, I've seen, but I think I'm going to put 2 on there, make it stay together a little bit longer. And the reason I'm using my pliers is I can now take this and I can twist this, and I can make it really nice and tight. So almost got it all the way around. Hook on that, so we'll hook on this other piece. There we go, and I can take that now and grab it. I can twist it, and make that really tight, which is what I want to do. together nicely. And I'll go ahead and put another wire on there. That way the wood will stay together a little bit better. A couple little hooks on this. They can hook together. Grab my pliers and I can twist it nice and tight. So what I'm going to try to do next is get this started. I'm going to use a fire starter that I made, one of these little round disky things, and I'm going to tear it up a little bit, get some cotton showing. We'll put it in here and we'll try to get this thing going and see if it will light in this really moist, rainy weather. This should be fun. Let's see what she does. Got my fire starter, and here we go. Well, the fire starter is lit. Let's see if this thing will burn now. What I'll do to get it going is I'll be feeding in some of these little sticks, these little shavings. They should help me to get this going, assuming it's not too wet out here today. So I've taken a lot of stuff out of the hole, and what I'm going to try to do is light stuff that's down deeper in it instead of trying to get the fire on top. Try to get a little oxygen in there. So what I suspect is that once it's burning, it burns well. But getting it started is the hard part. Put it out again. Okay. So what I did is both my first two attempts failed. So I think maybe my hole was too small. I was also smothering any fire that was in it. So what I did is I took it apart. I did some more shaving. I started my fire starter a little deeper in the hole. And now I'm just going to feed it with little pieces of wood just to keep the fire sustained. Not a lot. Just these little slivers. And of course, what I managed to do was smother the fire again. Okay, so let's see if we can't dig some of this stuff out of here. So what I'm doing is obviously not working. So I took it all apart, and because it wasn't working, and we're going to try it again. So I failed twice. I think it was, I'm smothering the fire, and it's just not catching. So what you're seeing burning now is the fire starter. But I ought to be able to get more than just the fire starter going. For now, I'm just sort of feeding it fire starter material. See if I can't get that going. There we can get a fire going down inside this thing. If we get a fire going down inside it, we can get the whole thing going like it should. But it's possible that this just is not going to work with this kind of wood and the kind of tools I'm using. In which case, it's a great example of how to not do one of these things. They look really easy when you do them when other people do them on the videos. You look at this and say, wow, how'd they do that? That was really cool. It was really easy looking. But, see, that went out really quick, didn't it? And that should not have gone out that quickly. So we're going to try it one more time. And see if we can't figure out why I can't get this going. A lot of the ones I see on YouTube, they show you this part. And then the next thing they do is they show you that it's working great. But it needs to catch. And it needs to, you need to get some sustained fire, not just the fire starter. Well, you know, we tried it. The Swedish torch or Canadian candle, whatever you want to call it, it didn't work for us. This was a fail today. So a couple of observations. First of all, this thing requires a lot of work. You've got to take your log, you've got to quarter it, you've got to hollow it out part way, you've then got to put it back together, and then you got to get a fire going inside it. That was a lot of work and effort. We never were successful at getting that thing lit on the inside today. I got a lot of scorching around the top, but absolutely no fire, no scorching on the inside at all. So if I'm hiking, I'm trying to get from point A to point B, I'm not sure I want to expend a lot of energy on a project like this. I want to get a fire going as easily and quickly as I can with as little effort as possible. I certainly don't want to exert a lot of energy on something that's going to fail or something that's going to take a long time to do. I want to be able to get this done really quickly. I think that was a problem. I think another thing to think about is you've got to be able to find the right wood and have the right conditions. It was damp out here today. This wood may have been a little bit green. So again, I'm just not sure that this is the kind of project that I would be doing if I'm on the go somewhere. I've seen them work on the internet. Other people have made them work. I obviously was not able to, and I'm not inept. I can make a fire. I just couldn't get this thing to burn with any kind of sustained flame or heat at all. So in my mind, this was kind of a fail today. But that's okay. Sometimes you try things. Look, it's really important. When you see these things on the internet and they look good, you try them out, you practice them. You don't want the first time you do this type of thing to be when you're on the trail, right? So you gotta practice it, see how good it is. I'll probably give this another try. I've got another piece of the tree here. I'll try that when this dries out a little bit more and see what happens. But in the meantime, this was kind of a fail, didn't work real well for me. But you learn, you try stuff and you learn, right? So, in the meantime, if you like the video, please click the like button below. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. Remember, we're trying to get to 300 subscribers by Valentine's Day, and we're getting close. We're only about 3 weeks away. In the meantime, remember what we always say. Stay strong, stay prepared, have a blessed day. We'll see you real soon here on Cowboy Survival.